There's a lot of N8N content creators on this app who are leading you astray. Anyone who's been telling you that you can prompt your way to proper AI agents just through Claude Opus 4 and a special project with some documentation is leading you down the wrong path. And why is that? Because they just don't work. And that's coming from someone who's gone through almost every single video on YouTube about Claude and N8N and how you can create a special project to gen up JSON on command and essentially eliminate the need to even know how to use N8N. So having tested all these projects from these content creators, there's two major problems. Either one, there's huge overfitting, or two, the knowledge base is way too generalized to give you anything of worth. So first, overfitting. These are knowledge bases that only have a few examples. They're very tight, they've been vetted, and the system prompt really knows what it's doing. The problem is if you're not asking for the specific type of workflow it was trained on, it's not going to work. In one example, I asked for a simple newsletter automation, one that should have taken no more than 4 steps, very linear, and instead came back with 9 JSON files for an entire fake social media AI agent that I never asked for. And as great as something like that sounds, the fact of the matter is, if you're trying to use these to actually build something to solve a real world client problem, that doesn't help you at all. In fact, the only person who could get any use of that is someone who already knows how to use N8N and use these AI agents. And if you're someone who's new or is bought into the idea that, hey, these Claude projects make it so you don't even have to know what you're doing on these low-code platforms, you're completely out of luck. Now, the second version of these Claude projects take the complete opposite approach, and that's where they grab every single JSON example they have and they stuff all the N8N documentation into the knowledge base. And what happens there? You get results like this, complete nonsense that half the time don't even have the modules you asked for, or they try to make it up on their own. And why does that happen? Because there's too many examples being pulled on this Claude project, and oftentimes they just aren't even vetted JSON files. And so if you ask for an AI agent to solve a specific problem, a unique problem that can't just be a copy and paste from the 2000 N8N templates that sit inside of N8N, you're going to be completely out of luck. And that's actually a major issue, because what's the point of these Claude projects if they can't create anything unique and they can't solve my particular use case? And so ironically, a tool that has been marketed as like the end of learning N8N and anyone can come in and build an AI agent is actually only good for people who know what they're doing. Because even if you get something like this, an 80% solution, well, you better know how to go from 80 to 100. And you only know how to do that if you can go from 0 to 100. And so if you're brand new to this, you're going to try to use some project, it's going to fail spectacularly, and you're just going to get super discouraged. And I don't say all that just to say you can't use Claude to help you build these agents and automations. In fact, it's actually good at doing the very simple ones. But if you think it's a silver bullet to creating anything you see on here, I think you're going to be sadly mistaken. And it's unfortunate it's being marketed the way it is.